Now, you have been here, and you have said this over and again. What is happening is not sustainable. Are we getting to a point where it's getting out of hand?
I think it got out of hand long ago. The power situation got out of hand long ago, but because you are dealing with government, and government is interested in paying the bills, even when they are not supposed to. And that's why we see the light on to some extent. But without government, sacrificing it in development to pay for electricity bills, I mean, there will be no power in Ghana. And that is the fundamental truth. And we keep saying that government doesn't need to be paying electricity bills. Government doesn't need to spend money that should be taking kids out of, living under trees. I mean, in many communities, you are dead once you get certain diseases, because even access to hospitals is a challenge. And we are sacrificing that to do the optics, keeping the light on and spending it. But when you even break that down, I mean, we spend over 25, 30 minutes talking about things that we shouldn't spend airtime on, right? You've been asking questions about which plant is running, what megawatt are they producing. We are 10 years backwards on that information. 2015, 2016, it was a dashboard online. You log in live, you can see which power plant is running. You don't need to ask ECG boss what plant is running for us to do politics around it. Today, people, engineers working in Greco don't have the information you want from the ECG boss. Because politically, everybody is being gagged not to provide data so that there can be visibility on what is happening in the power sector. And that's how terrible the system has gotten. And if we continue to manage this power sector this way, it gets out of the hands of government. It gets even deeper and bigger to address. And I mean, all of us agree, and Engineer Asamoah, congratulations to him. I'm sure we met briefly, but I haven't had the opportunity to do this. We know what the problem is. He mentioned that they are not collecting enough. Why are they not collecting enough? That is one part of the problem. You are not collecting enough, but they are also grossly inefficient with what they collect. And we'll be highlighting this. And I challenge anybody, if you go to ECG and you diagnose their contracting, the expenditures, there is not a single item ECG procures that is not 2 to 3 times more expensive than the shelf price.
Yeah. That's serious.
Is that clear? There is nothing, I dare say this. There is nothing that ECG, whether it's service, it's an item, an engineering tool, whatever they procure, there is nothing they procure that is not 2 to 3 times more expensive than the shelf price. If you spend our money this way, you cannot pay IPPs. You cannot pay the transmission companies. You cannot pay the other suppliers in the system. And that is what is happening. And they keep saying that they need money for themselves. To do what? To overspend, to do shady contracting, to pay more for what you are purchasing. And that is what they've been doing. I mean, I know we've been harping on the collection issues. ECG came up with a grand excuse that they need to digitalize. They need to move their system from a platform that they were using. That was a digital platform, for God's sake. We were running an app that people can pay on, an app that people can pay power on. And as if everybody has forgotten that the ECG even had an app before what we are talking about today. They have an app. So even if you want somebody visa to integrate, all you need is to get an engineer who can configure that and get us to pay, sitting at home, pay with our cards, pay with Momo. The systems are there. MTN is there. Telecel is there. You are integrating their system into yours. It's not magical. But they came up with this grand scheme that nothing has happened before. Let's re-engineer a whole contracting scheme and give it to another company to do it. And they're spending so much money on that contract, paid over 170 million for an app that was developed to do the same integration that could have been done by ECG engineers. And the worst part, when the company that doesn't own the meters, they don't own the transmission lines, they don't own any hardware that ECG has. When they collect the money through the app, which is controlled, I mean, the payment systems, Visa, Momo, all those platforms are not owned by the app developer. But the money goes into the account of the app developer. And then when the money goes to the account of the app developer, he takes 0.95%. You know what that means? That's over 10 million cedis every month. And then the app developer tells you that transfer the money from my account to ECG account. It doesn't even need to go to the app developer accounts in the first place. To transfer the money from my account to your account is going to cost 0.85%. That's over 8 million cedis a month. That is how ECG is spending our money. All right? So when IPPs cry that they don't have money, but they have the money to pay this kind of uselessness, you're not going to get the power sector sustainable. They are not collecting enough, but they are also incredibly abusing what is collected.
What can you see in the coming weeks as we heard of all of these, about all these going off, and now the ECG boss telling us that, well, all is okay, we are moving on, nothing is going to happen?
No, I mean, from my experience and what I've seen in this space, unless it is engineering problem and it is not possible to generate, IPPs generally will not shut down. You know why? Because if there is gas to generate, you are better being owed than shutting down. Because when you shut down, you don't get paid. And that is how we played it over time. So they will generate, we'll pile the debt, and then we'll keep moving on. It's only Asogli that has shut down because they don't have the kind of contract that Car Power, Sen Power, who have guarantees. Sen Power is not, Car Power is not shutting down because they went for their LCs, about $112 million. They went to